Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the technical outlook for week 45 of 2017. Hey guys, as always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge of the market, see what's going through my head on any given day or week. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Jedi traders, let's get started with our, actually, I apologize, I've been slacking here on the recap on the videos, meant to get some of those in the last couple weeks, but we'll go ahead and make a better effort in getting that done by Friday's end of the market day. So let's jump in and do a little recap of quick last week's price action, where momentum is. And then we'll jump into the market, where we are sitting currently, and what to expect in the week ahead. So good to see you guys. Let's go ahead and pull up the big charts here as we take a look at the price action throughout the week here on the four indices: Russell, NQ, YM, and ES. As you can see, the three to the right, all making new all-time highs last week. RTY still a little bit struggling there on the big picture, off from the highs as market is sitting back, but on pretty good volume, on a lot of earnings coming out, a lot of numbers, econ numbers, FOMC last week, and a lot of our bigger companies, Facebook, Apple, reporting, all with good profits for Q3. So market pushing those highs with those open gaps, still sitting downside, but overall the three on the right finishing up higher than the weekly open. So a very positive and yet remaining confirmed uptrend on the indices. Taking a look at the ES weekly, we can see price action again. We use the MML levels as we continue to project those levels higher. We use shorter time frames, as those shorter time frames, actually those square widths we call them, as they start to consolidate within the bigger picture, that could mean a sign of price movement maybe slowing down or consolidation before another breakout higher. But as we continue to hold above key moving averages, hey, trend remains upside. But we can see here ES along with the SPY ETF, a little bit of a breakout of the resistance levels here. You can see the shorter time frame MML here on the left chart, as we could see here on the daily chart. The weekly chart continues to push those upper levels high. We're now at the 12-month uptrend. This is when post-election. We're now been continuing upside. We're now at the MMLs on a weekly. We call it loosely the overbought level. It's just another level up here, as well as we continue upside. We might be looking up here to 26.17 before maybe a real stall and a pullback. But as long as Hike and Ashi bars are in uptrend, the ES continues to remain in an uptrend. Let's go ahead and pull up the SPY there. Again, very similar picture. Shorter term ETF here, shorter term MML within the SPY ETF of the bigger picture, which is the extended lines that you see to the left here. The daily chart on the left, the weekly chart on the right, continues to push those higher highs. And as long as we're staying above those key moving averages, it doesn't take, there's a variety of moving averages for traders to watch. I enjoy watching the 10, the 50, and the 200 for support downside, but at least for the short term, if we continue to move, Hike and Ashi bar is trending. You can see here, solid body tails up. We continue to move from the MML lows to highs. As we continue to move to those highs and project those MML levels continue to project higher, then I continue to remain in an uptrend. So SPY, again, any of these levels can be in play. It's just a matter of managing your stop from the bottom up. Let's jump in and take a look at the moving averages here. We can just say on the ES, again, representing the S&P 500 futures, all moving averages. I threw in some that maybe some of you might be watching, weighted moving averages, as well as the SMAs, EMAs. Here we go, short-term 10 EMA. We are definitely holding an uptrend. There's no question about that as price action continues to move up. Obviously, any pullback down the road is going to test and look for support on one of these levels. All right, one of the charts that I like to watch, several of the charts I like to watch for overall index trend is taking a look at the total stock market. Again, the VTI. There are a variety of different ones you can watch through Schwab and Vanguard. Here we have the VTI. Price action on a breakout in week 44 after a little bit of consolidation. This is a daily chart on the left. Here you can see we went up to 132.81. So definitely still total stock market index in a confirmed uptrend, both on a daily and a weekly. So I'm still sticking with that. And as well, now one of the things I like to, and more recently I've started to look at the FFTY and the CAN-GX out of the IBD 50. I'm a big supporter of the IBD 50 and their fundamental work. So FFTY, again, a little concern here on the little bit of consolidation, but hey, as IBD always says, consolidation forming a base before a breakout. Right now, we've lost a little bit of support there in week 44 on the 10 EMA, but we are holding up at the MML here at the major support resistance in a confirmed uptrend. But a little bit of a pullback here on the shorter term MML as we hold up in the resistance. So the IBD 50, fundamentally strong stocks, taking a little bit of a breather here, not exactly coming down. I'm looking down to the support level here, which would put us around the 50 EMA, so anywhere from 32.03 down to 31.25. But for now, we are holding here. However, the CAN-GX, the CAN Slim, which is the other ETF, out of the IBD 50 mutual fund. Here you can see price action, though, holding a lot stronger as a breakout up here, all the way up almost to the 1628 reversal level on the shorter time frame. The larger the larger MML square width up here at 1631. So obviously you can see for yourselves here, definitely a strong uptrend here. On both the IBD FFTY and the CAN-GX, again representing together. When I put it together with the package of the VTI, the total stock market index, it gives me still the picture like I see on my ETFs and my futures that we are in a confirmed uptrend. All right, one other chart that I like to look at, also the UUP, which is the ETF for the daily for the dollar index. We could see price action running from as the market did find a low. We definitely were in a downtrend, 50, 10, all underneath the 200 MA, all coming downside. We definitely got a pullback off the MML lows as we continue to push up here. We're having a little bit of a struggle here around the 200 weighted moving average, but price action definitely holding over above the short-term 10 EMA, but we have broken through some of the more shorter-term 50 and 89. So as the dollar continues to push up here, we're looking for that break above 24.76 to perhaps test this 25 resistance level. And so that will obviously line up both on the daily and the weekly as we roll ahead. So if the dollar ETF is to gain some strength here, and then maybe look for a little bit of resistance up here at the 200, but definitely in a confirmed pullback. All right, that's really the big picture in less than 10 minutes here. But I did, there were some positive highlighted charts that, again, let me show you where you can find those. If you come here to the website, click on tradingfibs.com, click on the week 44, and you scroll down here, you get a lot of these charts that I post, and then the ETFs that we've been mentioning here. What I want to go ahead also, the golden setups of the week, as you can see here, some of the more trending intraday moves on the HA bars when you combine them with both the T3 moving average crossovers and the MML setups, looking for the highest probability setup, go ahead and post those there. But I wanted to go ahead and point out one of the great moves of the week, which actually happened on Friday, was right here on the crude. Taking a look at the daily, I had to go back and open up the charts, but you could see I'm a big proponent of markets closing open gaps, especially on the indices and crude. And here we can see crude had an open gap back here from, that's right, almost 2 years ago. I wrote an article at See It Market, also on my website posted, that markets eventually, certain markets that I watch will eventually close out those open gaps. Absolutely 100% will close out the open gaps on the indices. I'm not talking about individual stocks here. I'm talking about the futures here. As you can see, CL, regular trading hours, there it was, 55.41. Markets, again, coming back and take care of old business. So took a while, took several years there, but eventually it does happen. All right, let's also a little bit of news bit last week. There it is, the CME Group, as Bitcoin continues to make the news, coming out with a Bitcoin future. So something you want to pay attention to if you didn't see that news feed. So go ahead and check them out at the CME Group. All right, let's jump into the technical. I think I've covered everything for a week 44 recap. Again, one of the things that I've also been working on and have taken a pause here, and I apologize, is the ETFs. Some of my charts a little, got to update those maybe for the last month. So we'll get right on that in the next couple weeks and keep up to date. But as long as you have the templates or using MML levels, again, that's what I'm trying to give as a support resistance, and looking at the larger time frames combined with the T3 moving averages, you should be able to plot those out yourself. But we'll get these charts as they are divided into the IBD indices, the Jason Kelly strategy. You can find more information out at jasonkelly.com, but basically following the IJR, following the TQQQ, the MVV, and balancing that all with a bond account, and as well as the sectors. So I will be working on getting that back in play here in the next couple weeks. All right, so let's jump into. Let's take a look at where we're at currently. Let's just jump right to the charts. It might be easier. Let's go ahead and close out the crude here. Here's the bigger picture as we just took a small pick of last week. We do have this open gap on the NQ still sitting downside, major open gap. So what's to say it's at any given point the market's going to pull back? Well, like I said, I want to see price action break that 10 EMA, and I want to see it pull back off the MML highs, especially a trending candle, Heiken Ashi candle, back below the resistance level, especially on an intraday. Obviously, bigger picture will take a little bit more time to confirm, but let's obviously, until that happens, we remain in a confirmed uptrend, at least on the indices. All right, so right now VIX levels still holding under 9 at the low 9s as we roll into week 45. NQ, as I mentioned, in ES and YM all sitting at all-time highs. RTY about, 24 points off the all-time high here in consolidation. And we've seen the econ results, data results for the FANG and Microsoft stocks come out. We do have earnings still coming out this week, but for the most part, been very positive for Q3, the rest of the market. And as Jason Kelly actually well said in his newsletter this week, let me read it verbatim. Skeptics are comparing today's overvalued market with past moments of overvaluation. However, no single sector is now dominating the capitalization of the S&P 500 as tech did in the late 1990s. The market is balanced. So we continue to hold in this positive uptrend, and as you can see here on the charts, it's exactly what is happening. As we looked at the ETFs, they're holding up strong. The futures are holding up strong. Any pullback that might occur will obviously break those moving averages. It could be geopolitical landscape, but as far as the week ahead, nothing very strong that might do that. All right. So let's jump into the indices. We'll take a look at crude and gold. Quick peek. Here we go. On the right, we have the daily upstairs, the weekly downstairs. As you can see, we've been rolling a little late to the game, maybe. I don't know. I'd like to see, obviously, this is nice consolidation before you want to jump in, especially on an intraday basis. Whole nother picture. What I want to give you is where's the current trend as I see it. Obviously, there's perma bears out there that says, this is it, we're going down, and then what do you see? The market continues to go up. So until I see that, I won't confirm that. All I can tell you is definitely consolidation at the highs. Shorter term MMLs will always project higher, but right now we are definitely, there's no question about it, count the weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks consolidation here in October and November on the Russell as we move sideways. Remember, the Russell is still balanced with the TF, and as volume continues to move over, we'll see more contracts trade. But, you know, all you got to do is go to a 100-tick range chart to see that as soon as we get that trend going, it's pulling back. But we definitely are still holding above the 50 MA, and in confirmation of our other couple studies that we watch, we're in the green here. So Still holding upside in the week to come. Obviously, I want to see the breakout back above the 10 EMA and back above resistance. So until we see that on an intraday basis, we remain in consolidation. I don't see it any other way. All right, NQ, whole different story. Price action holding above the 10 EMA, holding above the 50. We're all in the green, had a little bit of a pullback here, but we're still holding above the 10 EMA. There's a 150 tick range chart. Again, I've taken the multiplier of how I watch it during the day, intraday, and I've expanded by a multiple of 10 to give me the bigger picture. So 150 tick range chart, that's a flex Renko, so it's a 150, 100. And we could see, obviously, the support off the 10 after moving upside. This was last week's, 2 weeks ago, and then obviously a little bit of a pullback, and then a breakout upside on Friday. But price action still holding upside on the range chart, confirmation uptrend. But there it is, shorter term MML starting to squeeze into that bigger picture as we could head up here to 63.67. Maybe even up to 67.18. Again, I have no crystal ball here to tell you that that's where we're going. All I can tell you is that when we get to these levels down here, when we see the support, and then we have the confirmed backup side, that's exactly where we're looking. We're looking for 50% move, major support resistance, and then all the way up to resistance. And we have consolidation on both short-term and long terms up here. Obviously, the breakout, we'd be looking to get to these higher levels, which is supported by the chart on the left. So confirmed uptrend remains on the NQ. Same picture on the YM as we are a little bit higher up here in the overboughts. The NQ being the one index of the three YM and ES and NQ, which is just starting to reach those resistance levels. As you can see here, the rest already into the past resistance, up into the overbought reversal area. Price action continues to hold upside daily. YM, there's your levels upside. But taking a look at the range chart, 100 tick range chart, price action holding above the 10 EMA, holding above the 51.44, well above the 50, confirmed uptrend, all in the green. YM remains strong. Don't forget Disney reporting this week. ES, we looked at the charts today. We're now up at the MML highs, both on the weekly and the daily. Price action, a little bit of a pullback here last week, but maintained a little bit of sideways action on the ES, not as strong. Just a little bit of loss of support there, 10, but bigger picture, still holding upside on all the moving averages. All right, as we mentioned, crude, that's right, crude having that amazing move there, closing that open gap, remains back upside now, 10 above 50, above 200. So where do we go from here after closing the gap? Perhaps a little bit higher. Right there, 56.25. We've been talking about that level. So from the MMLO support up to 56.25 will be our first resistance. We're not that far away. Could be done in one trading session. We'll watch for the reset on crude. So I got to go still now with the confirmed uptrend on crude. Any pullback at this point, we'll look to test at 10 as well as the 50 MA here on the range chart. And then anything deeper, we'll be looking down back to 50 on major support resistance, and intraday, obviously, a shorter term MML. All right, finally here on the GC, price action waffling in between the 50 and the 200, having a difficult time as Bitcoin also making the noise. We are definitely in a downtrend on the gold from the highs up here, 1343 resistance breakdown. Nice move on the futures here as it continues to hold, though, at the MML lows on the daily, weekly, looking for the pullback here to about 1250, which is very doable, especially after almost losing that support here at the 200 period moving average. All right, there's our indices, there's our crude, there's our gold. One other chart that I've been posting here weekly is the 30-minute charts. Kind of gives us a picture intraday, maybe for a session or two. Again, as we roll into Globex Sunday, watch as we continue to hold up here at the 30-minute chart on the NQ at the 62.89 after coming off on Thursday off the lows. So we'll look for some either consolidation up here and a breakdown pullback, or if we break 63.18.25, expect higher levels. ES working its way up here to 25.88, pulled off that all-time high on Friday, pulled back a little bit. So if any support down here, 25.78, anything deeper, we'll look to these levels down here. But right now we are moving from a down to up, so we'll be looking to 25.88 and a little bit higher up here to 25.95. RTY, again, the bigger picture, you know where we're at. We're sliding sideways. We're in consolidation, and we're having that trouble to break above that 1,500, maybe that round number. But as you can see, MML's off the lows, up to the high, back. So we are working our way back up to 15.6, but we got to break above that 1,500 for that to happen. Obviously, if you go back to the bigger charts, that will break us up above into these upper levels on the higher time frames. And then wrapping up on the YM is we almost missed that support level. Again, MML is not exactly a pure science here, but it does give us support and resistance. Here we did work our ways up and almost our way down, and we worked our way back up. Again, you could change the square width of the MML, but looking at all the different square widths and time frames, that is the best outlook we have right now as price action continues to consolidate up here at the highs. In the upper resistance. So any pullback will be looking down here to 359. All right, Jedi traders, that is a little bit of extended wrap here today. And outlook, looking ahead this week, we do have some earnings. Let's go ahead. I wrote them out just so I don't miss them. NVIDIA, Disney, and Snap reporting this week. TD Ameritrade Investment Index, they're coming out on Monday. No red green star event. This might be of interest to you. Chip makers, Chinese internet leaders reporting this week, as well as Macy's, Nordstrom's, and Kohl's. Very light economic week. Not many red star events. So again, market action might just take a pause here. Again, I mentioned geopolitical landscape might just shake things up sometimes. But as far as all things as they stand, right now, confirmed uptrend until further notice. All right, Jedi traders, make sure to check out the post here for the technical momentum outlook for week 45. I'll get that posted here momentarily, again, with a lot of charts, pictures that you saw today. And that concludes this week's insight. Feel free to stop by here at my website, tradingfibs.com, to obtain more information, or any of my social media outlets as well. My trading mantra is using as simple of a strategy as possible. Any market, any chart, any time frame should keep you disciplined. You could find me here on Everyday at Twitter. Also, you can follow me on StockTwits as well. I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I'm only trading the charts that are in front of me. And no bias. Leave your bias at the door when trading. So check out the website. Again, if you guys are interested in MML, check out the link here under Education MML. If anybody's interested in joining us in our room of like-minded traders, got a great group of investors and traders, all with different ideas of the market, but all come together in learning what it takes to remain in the trend. So if you're interested, go ahead and just click on the membership here. You don't have to be a member to click on that. If you're interested in joining us in the trading room, just email me, David at Trading Fibs. Also, if you're interested in those MMLs, like I said, click on the MML tab. And this week's webinar posted by the IBD. If you're interested more in the IBD 50 ETF index, check out their website, Investors Webinars, and there it is. It was, I believe, October 26th. So that was about a week and a half ago there. All right, that, I believe, wraps things up. If I forgot anything, I'll make sure I post that online. Let me make sure I got everything on my list here. I do. All right, guys. Well, have yourselves a Blue Zone week. If you don't know what Blue Zones are, just type it in, bluezones.com. And for the rest of you, wherever you may be, daylight saving time out the door. European markets now closing at, that's right, at 11:30 in the morning, and time change, so throws us for a loop for a couple weeks, getting dark a little bit earlier. So have yourselves a Blue Zone week wherever you may be. And to the rest of you, have yourselves a great week. Have yourselves a great day for today. Have yourselves a good night. My name is David at Trading Fibs, and have yourselves a good trading session.